Okay, 6 days at Disneyland Paris, and it couldn't all possibly fit into one video. Here's part 3 for you. So coming into Disneyland Park, this is my third evening coming in. And you can see the castle up there. The lights are just starting to come on. Much warmer today. And you can see it's a little close to the end of the day. People are leaving. It's about 7 o'clock or so. So these are all the people that are going to miss the fireworks, which is a really neat show. It doesn't have the huge aerial fireworks in it, but it has a lot of stuff that fits very well with the castle. Saw it one night from up near the flagpole and definitely have to catch it again. But you can see how much it looks like the other Disney parks, but at the same time it's just a little different and just a very pretty park. More color on Main Street. Makes it a little bit brighter. Oh, one of the neat things too with the princess dresses, as you can see with this little girl here, they have hoops. At least a lot of them do. Yes, they're smoking right next to the no smoking sign. One thing about this park, and I guess maybe Europe as a whole, is the whole idea of no smoking in the park, except in designated smoking areas, really doesn't exist here. People want to smoke, they just light up. And in the few days I've been here, I have heard an occasional announcement about please only smoke in the smoking areas, and it's been generally ignored. Yeah, Frontierland, what's kind of neat is where we're used to having that fort at the where we're used to having the fort at Tom Sawyer Island. Here it's the entrance to Frontierland. And you can already see a couple little side paths there. And we're actually going to be going into Adventureland through Agrabah. And you can already see the change in texture here. And all of a sudden it starts looking much more desert-like, which is really cool. So Big Thunder is supposed to open tomorrow, and there's people on it. Let's go.
Give me a child. I want to go there.
So this will give you a good look at Frontierland and Thunder Mesa. So we're in line for Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril and getting ready to go. This is apparently based on a Pinfari model, but Giovanola built it, and so it's a little bit different. Let's see if I can spin around here, and there it is. So this should be really interesting to ride. Really kind of fun, and looking forward to seeing what it does. And then after this, they actually opened up Big Thunder early, so we're going to catch that too. You ready for this thing?
I got a gold leaf.
Ready to get beat up by it?
Yeah!
Because it might. Who knows? It might toss her around. Check it out. Fun little ride. Not too bad. Like, it's based on a Pinfari deal. It does have a loop hiding in there that you may not be able to see. And unfortunately, it is one of those that I am at just the right height. It's got the hard over-the-shoulder restraints, and my head was like slap, bang, whack. Ooh, head, meet, restraint, shoulder. So, did get a little bit of banging on it. Found out in my case, if I actually rode with my head all the way back, it was better as opposed to a lot of times where you put your head forward to get it out of the restraint. So a little bit of bump banging, but not too bad. Ride's pretty similar to the Pinfari single loop coasters, but a little bit theming elements in there, a little bit tempo, but nothing really tells a story. It's basically feels like a production model with a tempo built around it. But fun ride. Hey, going for the count. Okay, so we just got our first rides on Big Thunder there, and rode it up in the front car, and I gotta say, I was impressed with this little thing. Probably the fastest of the Big Thunders, and of course with the tunnels going out, because it's actually built on an island in the middle of the rivers of America, and it has a couple surprises in there with those tunnels. Huh.
Yeah, it went a doop, and I said, die, suckers, die.
A doop and a dive and a dive. You start off in a deep tunnel, so that way you can actually get underneath the, I don't know if it's called the Rivers of America or what, but takes you out that way, and off you go, and just a fun ride. Really, really impressed with it. So, can't wait to do that one again. We just got another fast time, and we're gonna come back later. So this is the whole back end of Frontierland, which is all closed right now. So you got the Cowboy Cookout, and then there's a trading post here, which don't know what Pueblo trading post would have had. I think this is actually the one that somebody asked if it would have been here. But this is where you can meet Woody, and then the Indian Village is back there, and that's actually a kid's playground, which got a quick glimpse of it off of Big Thunder. But too bad this part of the park's closed. You gotta say, their Frontierland though is very impressive. Very impressive. Awesome day. Just got finished watching their fireworks spectacular again with the first Disney park I've seen that actually used water fountains as part of it, and huge flamethrowers and all sorts of stuff. Just a really neat nighttime show. I'll be honest, may very well be one of my favorites. And then there's that one. So did you like the fireworks stuff?
Yeah.
You can tell one of them did. The other one's like, I will not smile. I prefer to be grumpy.
Actually, I really did like it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I just don't understand why they put Star Wars in it.
Because it's Disney.
Ratatouille!
Star Wars owns Disney, so they put it in.
Yeah, but this is Fantasyland. I would understand if it was in.
That's probably the only thing I would change with it, is I would pull Star Wars out, and then I might like put Moana in or a couple other things. But yeah, and then leave Star Wars Studios. Other than that, great show.
Vos mains, bras, pieds et jambes à l'intérieur de votre véhicule et surveillez les
Est-ce que j'ai deux personnes? Deux? Vous en avez ici les deux? J'ai le numéro 6.
Just got my third ride on Ratatouille. I think I've actually been in all three cars now and ridden both loading sides. And the reason I did that is because there's actually a couple spots on this ride where you're in different rooms, and we were debating whether they were different or whether they showed the same thing or not. And I think they all show the same thing. Ratatouille is a really cool ride, but this is just a really neat dark ride. Your story basically is that you are another rat, and you fall into the kitchen with Remy and end up trying to race around the whole restaurant and try not to get squished and caught and everything else. And then eventually end up in the kitchen making the food and celebrating. And it just a really neat ride, very well done. Not your typical dark ride by any means, because it uses projection screens and 3D technology and other stuff. So just a very immersive ride, very real looking but very fun as well. Got to ride with a family on my last ride. It was actually their very first ride, and they're from Germany. And then had another family earlier from the United States, and then one of my cars, I know at least a couple of them were from France. So just a lot of fun, something everybody enjoy. You don't even need to know the language to be able to enjoy it, which is one of the things that's just really cool about this park, is how many languages you hear, how many different nations and countries and stuff that's represented. And I'm absolutely loving that. I love Missouri to death, but it's actually one of the things that I miss being in Missouri is all the different cultures and languages, because I'm used to being around that. So this is really cool for me. Really enjoying this. All right, so we are here outside of Disneyland Paris and Disney Studios. I've got a couple of friends, one from Normandy and a couple from Holland, the Netherlands. You know, for those of you who are going, where? Huh? It's the same place. So really excited, meeting right outside the World of Disney store. And yes, I actually have people who watch International. And what you don't see is somebody almost tripped over my bag here, which was kind of funny. Nice job, Sophie. It's one of the ones I traveled with. But really excited to have him here, and so much fun. We're going to get ready to go see Lights, Motors, Action with a couple of them, and then we're going to catch the other one back at Disneyland again. I know, I hope she's not getting a headache from Stitch eating her head there. It looks kind of painful to me. So, anything y'all want to say?
Hi.
Say hi. So finally got my first ride on Tower. There it is behind me. And it's definitely the California version, where you walk through the elevator door and then you walk across the hallway and then sit down on your elevator, which I always thought was kind of weird. But still fun to actually see it as Tower. Hopefully it doesn't change. Our ride up was definitely having a lot of fun. Going back and forth between French and English, which is normal, but she was very entertaining, shall we say. I wish I'd caught her name. Still love Tower. Awesome ride. Got to get that one at least a couple more times while we're here. So to use our fast pass on Crush, we're going through a back hallway. Look! There's Dale. And your ship. But separated, it's a lot harder for them to get in trouble. On my way over to Disneyland now to go get ready to catch the parade. Just got off of Crush's coaster, finally, after 3 days. Got my first ride on it. And fun ride. Crush's coaster, if you're not familiar with it, is a spinning coaster, but they've actually taken the first third of the ride, they put like a dark ride portion on it, where you can see that you're riding the East Current, whatever the current is. I'm actually walking back inside the main entrance, so that's why it's getting dark all of a sudden. But you get to ride the East Australian Current. There we go. And so you get to see Nemo and friends on that part, and you know, they pop up on some screens, so it's a nice little short portion of the dark ride. And then the lift hill is actually going into the submarine where the sharks are. And from that point, after you come off the lift hill, well, then it's like take Space Mountain and make it a spinning coaster, and it gives you a good idea of what it is. Neat ride, a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. Hope we can get back and get another ride on that before the whole trip's over. So finally got 2 of my big ones, which means I now finally, on day 4 officially at Disney Parks plus the weekend, I finally got all the Disney rides at studios done. So there's just a couple things to do over at Disneyland itself, and then it's all re-rides and exploring and other fun stuff like that. Studios. And right right out this way. This is kind of their walkway over to Disneyland. So if you think California, where you've got kind of the plaza in between the two parks, kind of a similar idea, except Disney Village, their version of Downtown Disney, is right there. And then you can see the Disneyland Hotel straight ahead, and that is actually the entrance into Disneyland. The hotel is actually built right over the entrance. So, kind of a neat idea. So why is the Disneyland Hotel here so expensive? Because you're sitting almost right on top
When
of
does
it.
the parade actually start?
When it begins. And you know when it's over?
When it ends.
When it's done. Yep. Now, do you know where it goes?
It's done in 3, 2, 1.
Do you know where it goes?
Wherever it ends.
On the road.
Can't go before it. Look, Rory, can't give us
Are you staying at the hotel with the...
So I just got off of Star Tours and had something very interesting happen. My last several rides, both here and down in Florida, were all the new rides with Kylo Ren and Crate, the race across the desert and that battle and everything. This last ride wasn't that. I was surprised. It was actually going back to one of the older ones where you had the spy on board and you're following the Millennium Falcon out, and then we ended up on in the pod race and then down at Naboo again. It was like, whoa, it's an old episode, an old mix of things. And so really cool to be able to see an old one. I wasn't sure they were still cycling the different episodes, but I guess they are. So had a lot of fun. So much fun watching the reactions of all these people from different countries who do it. So had a great time. But yeah, they are still doing different rides on it. Had a lot of fun with the meet and greet today. Didn't really expect anybody to come out. And we had, let's see, 1, 2, 5, 6 people come out, which was really kind of cool. Very, very neat to know that I can travel half the world away and that there's some people there who watch my videos. Very humbling. What was really funny was there was actually a family from Chicago. Hey, we came all the way to France to meet a family from Chicago. Didn't get to meet very long, which I do kind of feel bad about a little bit. Just the way scheduling has worked out, I haven't been able to get over to Leiza Motors Action, which I really wanted to do since I love the show down in Florida and really wanted to see it and video it and make sure I got that in. And kind of had to do it about an hour after we had the meet and greet scheduled, because it's supposed to rain the next couple days, and that means it's probably not going to go. And it only had one more show today, and that was at 2:15 with the meet and greet at 1. So it was like, oh. So we had some of the people from the meet and greet come over and join us, and met a couple others later, but there were a couple that weren't able to stick around, which I kind of felt bad about. So if that was you, Rick and I'm gonna forget your name, I'm sorry, but forgive me for not being able to be there a little bit longer and spend some more time. It's funny because you've got all these days and all this time, and yet it still feels like you run short and don't have enough time. You know how that goes. So if you're at the meet and greet, thank you so much for being there. I was happy to meet you. If you wanted to be at the meet and greet, hey, missed you, but a lot of fun. So that's one part of my trip to Disneyland Paris. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Hey, don't forget to check out the other parts as well, because there's more to it than just that. Don't forget to check them out. There'll be links in the descriptions if they're posted already. Don't forget to check them out. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. Thank you so much to Leo for bringing me along, because this trip wouldn't have ever happened without him. I am so indebted to his generosity. Thank you for all my patrons too for supporting, because you can see some of the stuff I brought home thanks to you and help provide some of the equipment. If you want to know more about Patreon, my Facebook page, or anything else like that, be sure to check the description below. Thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear your feedback too in the comments. God bless. So I just got off of my 3rd trip on Star Tours. So just got off Star Tours. Yeah. Boy, there's going to be some good bloops.